Yeah, yeah. MD, JPB. It's only right, baby.
Yeah, why you mad? I got a bad bro. Name hot in these streets, no Tabasco. But I'm so stubbed, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Go run it back.
You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hello guys, what is up? It's me, the Prince, and I am back with the third part to this wonderful series. Sorry I was gone for so long. As I said, I had some issues, but I'm back. Thank y'all so much for praying for my uncle to get better. Luckily, it's not COVID or anything. He was just taking a sick day as he hasn't taken one in a while. So before I say anything else, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of my videos. Also, make sure you're actually subscribed. Go back and check, because sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you for some reason, which is kind of bullshit, but what can I do? Also, go check out my channel with Dark King and watch his take on what if Deku got one for all earlier, and my take on what if Naruto was a true alpha werewolf. If you don't know what that is, go watch Teen Wolf. And also, how dare you not know what that means? The playlist for this series will be put up on the screen now, so go check out the first two parts, and so you can understand this part better. Our Discord will also be down below in the description, and have fun, enjoy yourself. Also, sorry about any background noise that you may hear. Now, let's begin. The last part started with Luffy fighting Zoro, who wanted to test his strength, and after beating him, Zoro swears allegiance to Luffy and is healed by him. He would then leave, flying away with Zoro, while making the Marines think he hates Kobe, and this allows him to join the Marines. Zoro and Luffy then head off, arriving back in the sea, and they end up in the territory of Buggy, where they would meet Nami. And there they are attacked by a Buggy Ball. However, this does not work, and Luffy would counterattack, destroying Buggy and his group, and then he made them leave, and Nami joined them as the group just left. They then headed out to sea once again and met Usopp, and Calidor, or Kuro, is found out to be a fake butler and is actually a pirate, and Luffy's information on pirates in his grimoire is used to identify him. While he is in disguise, he is obviously shown to be not who he says he is, and Calidor runs away, but Luffy chases him to his ship and would destroy it along with his people. Before then, he healed Kaya he healed her after beating them. I think before. Never mind, whatever I said. Whatever happened last time happened. Luffy healed her. So, after this, Kaya gives them a ship, the Going Merry, which is named after her other butler, who's actually named Merry, and so they go on their travels, and they make a flag, and name themselves the Tempest Pirates. On the way, they meet Yosaku and Johnny, who they accommodate, and Luffy heals Yosaku's scurvy, and they would direct them to the Baratie, where the group meets Sanji. And Gin would come in waiting for a meal, and Sanji would give him one. After days of trying to make him join, soon Don Krieg appears, and Sanji feeds him, and he tries to take over the ship after that, of course, only to be beaten by Luffy, who completely destroys him. And after this, the chefs act like they hate Sanji to make him leave and make him pursue his dream, and he finds out about the ruse and would leave voluntarily but breaks down crying and would thank Zeph and the other chefs. And then Nami would ask for a favor from Luffy to beat Arlong, and he agrees. It takes about 2 days to reach the home of Nami, and as they approach, Luffy would start to be enveloped by wind, which would fly him up, and he says, "Alright, he's then interrupted by Zoro, who grabs him by the shirt, saying, "You're bringing me with you." "You look pretty mad," Luffy would say, and Sanji would walk up saying the same. "I want to give those bastards a piece of my mind." "You don't even know what they did," Zoro would say, and Sanji said, "They made Nami sad, that's enough for me." "Pushover, dumbass," Sanji would respond, and the two start to go back and forth. Meanwhile, Usopp would be in the background acting as if he wasn't even there, because he didn't want to be involved, and he didn't want to even fight. But then Nami would break up their fighting, and she would say, "Stop it, you're both idiots." "Hey, take that back," Zoro would say to Nami, as she then walks down from the driving area where she was, and she would grab Usopp on the way. "Hey, let me go, I don't want to die today," Usopp would yell, and Yosaku and Johnny, however, say that he has to toughen up a bit because this is the sea and shit's not fair out here. And Nami would say, "Can I trust you with this?" asking Luffy this, and Luffy says, "I'm not going to be beaten by a measly fish man, but meet us there. I'll surprise you. Actually, come alone. I don't want this to become a big deal." As he says this, he creates a wind arc that would bring up Sanji and Zoro with him, and they fly away. "Phew, he didn't take me with me," Usopp would say. "Nami, don't worry, it's Luffy. Besides, Arlong's bounty is way lower than his. Nami in that moment would let him go and get stuck in her thoughts thinking, I know, but fishmen, they're insane. They're nothing like humans. Those bastards can lift houses with their bare hands and throw them like they were just nothing. As she thinks of this, we cut to Arlong Park, where Arlong and his men would be gathered and partying, and Arlong would be looking at the new bounty and poster of Luffy with his actual face on it, not just being shaded and hidden. As his members would be partying and swimming in their pool like usual, either be drinking or eating and just messing around, Pachin would then walk up to Arlong asking why he looked so mad. Arlong with an annoyed look then throws Luffy's poster in the face of Pachin, and as it gets stuck on his face, he would then quickly pull it off and have his eyes widen. What the hell? The Ripper's worth 100 million now? This freezes everyone in their place as they turn to Pachin and get nervous. Is it because of what happened with Don Krieg? Is he still in the East Blue? Cause we could be screwed. Shut up, Arlong would yell. I know. Pachin would then say, sorry boss, but what if he actually comes here? Arlong is about to say something when they would be hit by a gust of wind. Whoa, what's going on, they'd be saying, as the wind then grows stronger, pushing them back, and the fishermen would get out of their pool, leading to the ocean, of course, just as one of them looks up terrified, and the person points up. What? What's up there? They all then start looking up, as Arlong would then walk out from his chair, and they look up shocked to see the Ripper and two of his men. It's him. A chill runs down all their spines, with Arlong then thinking, why? Why is he here? The group would then land right in the den of fishmen, with Sanji taking a puff from his cigarette. So these are them. These fishmen. Arlong would then walk out asking Luffy what he wanted. I didn't expect to see you of all people today. He then puts on his business smile, with Luffy not answering as he would walk past him, only scaring him even more. And he then flies up into the air and right in front of a big window on the highest floor of the mansion. What is this room for? Luffy would ask, as Arlong then thinks. He saw the maps. He must want something. Arlong would then say, that's our navigator's work. She's pretty good, isn't she? Hearing this would anger Luffy, as he can kind of smell hints of blood from the room, and it was a complete mess as well. It was not kept clean at all. I've decided, Luffy would say, as he then holds his hand out saying, Wind Fang. The surrounding wind becomes violent, and before that started to wrap around Luffy until it would be released in a powerful wind tornado which would rip up the drawing room of Nami. Pieces of paper, sawdust, and wood would fall from above, making the fishermen gasp. What the hell are you doing? Arlong would yell. As he says this though, he would barely dodge the kick of an angered Sanji, but then Arlong backhands him away, but Zoro would stop him from hitting the water. Jesus, what is he made of? Be careful, if we fall into the water, they win, Zoro would say. And as he says this, the two are then surrounded by fishmen as Arlong looks up at Luffy. No matter how strong you are, you can't save your men now, can you, Ripper? You're in my territory now. Luffy would then land down, say nothing, as he then goes and sits on Arlong's seat, crossing his legs, and he would then say, destroy them. If you get hurt, I'll heal you. The confused Arlong then hears the sound of hacking, slashing, and kicking as he turns to see Zoro and Sanji destroying his men, and he is bewildered. Why? These two don't have devil fruits. They're just normal humans. Why can they hurt my men? As he is stuck in a gaze, Luffy then says, don't worry, they won't touch you. You can't interfere either. You're mine. For the first time in years since he has done it, Luffy exuded the color of the Supreme King and freezes Arlong, making him feel like he was just forced to do what Luffy said. The fight between Sanji, Zoro, and the other fishmen raged, and after being the normal fishmen, they would fight Arlong's closest men. The fishman being able to use fishman karate, pushes back Sanji, who is about to be hit into the sea, but Luffy keeps him out of it with his wind. Thanks, Luffy, Sanji would say as he lands, and then he disappears and appears right in front of a fishman with a kick to his nose, making him stumble back as he would then notice he was bleeding. A human? Made me bleed? Meanwhile, at Nami's home would be Usopp, Yosaku, Johnny, and Nami herself talking to Nojiko. So, let me get this straight, Nojiko would say. You joined the Ripper's pirate group and asked them to kill Arlong? Him? Nami would then avert her eyes in embarrassment. It's not that weird. Nojiko would then chuckle at this, with Usopp then asking who Nojiko is to Nami, and she says they're sisters, which is a bit surprising. And as she says this, they all hear a knock, and Nami would go and open the door to see Genzo. I can't believe it. You really came, Genzo would say, as Nami then says not to make a big deal out of it, and Johnny would ask if Genzo was also a pirate. He's kinda scary. Nojiko would then say, don't be rude, Genzo's super nice. Genzo then asks if he can come in, and Nami would let him, and as he would enter, he would ask if Arlong would really like if she was here. Yosaku would then laugh, saying, Arlong's not gonna be alive for long, you know. Genzo would be confused by this, as we then go back to Arlong Park, where Sanji and Zoro would have beaten all their opponents, and Luffy finally got out of his chair. Now it's your turn. He then holds his hand out to the side, and his grimoire would float out and open itself before starting to flip pages and shine. Why is he even doing this, Arlong would think. Luffy then holds his hand forward, and around Arlong would form multiple windblade constructs. Why? Why do you want to kill me? Because Nami's bled too much. Arlong, as he hears this, is wide-eyed. Don't tell me she joined. The blades then cut him off and violently stab into him from all sides, causing him to be cut into a million pieces, and the blades would dissipate, leaving only mangled flesh and blood. That was pretty brutal, wasn't it? Zoro would say, and Luffy says, you're one to talk. You guys need any healing? Please, the two would say. Luffy is then about to heal them when they would hear footsteps and turn to see the Kokoyashi villagers along with Nami, Usopp, Yosaku, and Johnny. Oh my god, is that Arlong? The villagers are dumbfounded, with Noshiko holding her mouth in complete shock. Yosaku would then say, what the hell did I tell you? There's no way our big bros would lose to these bastards. Hey, big sis Nami, are you okay? Nami has tears running down her face as she would then see the destroyed drawing room, which was her place of torment. And she cannot say anything except thank you. Just, the word thank you. But she's too embarrassed to say it out loud because she's just feeling a lot of emotions right now. Well, we were gonna do this in secret, like I said. Keep everyone away, Luffy would say, and Yosaku would then say, oh, yeah, sorry about that. After this, Luffy then heals Zoro and Sanji, and the entire village would rejoice in the downfall of the oppressors that had been, oppressing them for so long. And the fact that Nami was finally free was just awesome. And to say that people were happy at partying was an understatement. A party occurred during which everyone celebrated, and during it they ate, drank, laughed, and cried, and they went on until night fell and the day had passed. The Straws would start to soon leave already, and they would board their ship, and the people of Kokoyashi would gather near their ship just to thank them, but Yosaku and Johnny were actually going to stay here. You sure? Zoro would ask. I don't think Luffy minds adding you to the group. Yeah, you guys are fun, Luffy would say, and Johnny then says, thanks big bro, but before anything, we're bounty hunters. Luffy would then say, alright then, stay safe out there. Oh, by the way, I have a feeling someone I know is gonna come for these fishmen. Are they pirates too? Yosaku would ask, and Luffy scratches his head saying, no, he's a bit more troublesome than that. This is when everyone hears Nami's voice as she would then yell, start the ship! Luffy hearing this would then swipe at the sails, hitting them with a gust of wind, and the ship starts moving as Nami has arrived. And as she did, she ran through the crowd of villagers before then leaping towards the ship and landing right on the deck. As she did, she would then lift up her arms and let out a bunch of jewels fall, and just a bunch of belongings that belonged to the villagers fall to the deck, and this made all the villagers check themselves and they see they had been robbed. Sorry everyone, Nami would say, and they would yell, you little thief! Good one, Nami Swan, Sanji would say, as he is assessing over her, and Usopp would say, well, good to see you haven't changed. And we're sure she won't betray us, Zoro would ask, and Luffy says, yep, come back anytime you want, alright? Thank you so much, Tempest, and people were just, thanking them and all that. And Genzo would say, hey kid, don't forget our promise. Genzo yells this to Luffy, who would then put a thumbs up, and Nami would say, bye everyone, I'll be going now. Nochiko would then say, oh, Genzo, where's your pinwheel? Genzo would then say he doesn't need it anymore, as he would think. She smiled. Yosaku would then say, bye guys, watch out for the Marines, and Johnny would say, bye big bro Zoro, with tears in their eyes. And after this, a few days would pass with the Tempest Pirates just rolling around, well, not swimming, but just going around, and Nami had her tattoo of Arlong put away, of course, and had a pinwheel put there in place. Things were fun. Right now, Usopp was actually making some spices and concoctions with little chemicals. Zoro is sleeping. Sanji is making food, and Nami is talking to a newspaper carrier and kind of haggling with it, and Luffy is just hanging on Mary's head. Hey, wait a minute, did you guys increase the price? She would yell to the carrier when Nami is then hit by a little green flash. Everyone then turns to see Luffy's grimoire shining for some reason, but soon the shining calms down as Luffy will then turn with a smile on his face. Luffy, you good? Usopp would ask, and Luffy then jumps into the air saying, yes! Finally, they put my full face on the Wonder poster. Wait, really? Let me see, Nami would say, as she then runs over, and Luffy then gives her the grimoire, with her seeing his full face, almost like he was perfectly posing for a photo shoot. You're really photogenic. Wait a minute. She then wipes her eyes and looks closely at the number on Luffy's head now. 100 million? All the Tempests have their jaws drop hearing this, as Usopp would then drop something on his leg, and that was his chemicals, and he would say, ow, ow, shit. Wait, 100 million berries? Are you serious? Why would I lie about that? Nami would say, and they all come over and see the bounty, but Luffy is still celebrating about having his actual face on there. And Luffy would say, they didn't even use the one with the straw hat. It's perfect. Hey guys, we're having a party right now. This definitely calls for celebration. You mean because of the face or the bounty? Zoro would ask. And Luffy would say, both. I knew my bounty changed, but my grimoire takes change with the world and how it's affected. This means people actually have begun to recognize my true face. That's awesome. Wait, that's how it works? You said there were other faces in here, right? Usopp then takes the book from Nami and flips through it, but then sees nothing else but spells which he cannot even read. And at this moment, the book then flies out of his hand and back at the side of Luffy in his satchel. Sorry, but I have to be able to hold it and show the bounties, or it has to have my permission. Zoro would then say, well, this is good for us. This thing's like a newspaper itself. Sanji would then come out yelling Nami Swan as he then comes out of the kitchen saying the food was ready, but Luffy said double it. What? We just became a little bit more notorious, my friend. What does that mean? Sanji would ask. And the group then fills him in on what happened, and he thinks it's awesome. And as the Tempests were talking, their world was already being affected by the movement of Luffy's power. When they left, Garp actually came over to Kokoyashi and captured the fishmen, but Hachin escaped. Along with his group, Arlong and the others were captured, and Garp designated this village as a sort of territory that belonged to the government. Like, not just like, almost every territory, but something that belonged to the government itself, so people couldn't mess with it. After a few days, the group then closes in on Logue Town, the place where the king of pirates died. This was proof that they were close to the Grand Line, but because word spread about them and they were so popular, normally you'd think that they would have, wore hoods or just, done literally anything to hide, but this is Luffy and he don't care. As they step foot on shore, they then walk out until they find a big sign that said Logue Town on it, and the streets were crowded. There were a lot of people here, and there was a commercial business. There was obviously an economy. This place was rich, and it just had a lot. Alright guys, I'm gonna go see that stand, Luffy would say. Nami says, I'm gonna go scour some money. Sanji would then say, I'm gonna go find some ingredients, and they all just start leaving, doing their own thing. Zoro's gonna look for a sword, and Usopp would start to just take a little stroll, but truth be told, he's terrified at being caught by someone and being seen as part of Luffy's group. Come on, man, Usopp would think, you're a pirate now. Gotta stay cool. Come on. As for Luffy, as he heads out to see the platform where the very Pirate King was killed, he starts to notice that as he's walking, he's stared at by women who find him attractive and men who are jealous of his looks and those who are also aware of his notoriety. But he doesn't really care. This place has so much stuff in the way. Maybe I should just fly, he would think. He then soon stops in his tracks and he sees the executioner's platform. As if by instinct, he flies into the air and blasts off with the force of the wind, blowing back people just away and making them cover their eyes. Whoa, he's flying. Hey, it's the Ripper, call the Marines. Luffy then flies over this giant crowd of people and lands on the platform before then turning and seeing what he guesses Roger must have seen. Man, he had a big audience. His eyes then close as he starts to focus on the current of the wind and he's able to hear all the voices all around. He just feels so awesome right now. And they're either talking about calling the Marines or freaking out that he's here. Ah, yes, finally recognize me. Then, however, he hears a particular sound, the sound of a mallet. From below, as Alvida strikes someone in the crowd, just for fun, she gets all the attention on her and would yell for Luffy. I've been meaning to meet you again, Ripper. Luffy would then open his eyes and look down to see her, and everyone freaks out at how beautiful she looks. What do you want, Alvida? Luffy would ask, as Alvida is happy he recognizes her and would say she came here with a gift. As she says this, a bomb is thrown at him and it whistles, well, not whistles, like it makes a little sound before reaching him, and it kind of pierces the air and it explodes at point blank range. Buggy then walks out, making his entrance with his crew, and he makes people go into a panic as the bomb dust then clears, and Luffy is actually completely fine, and he asks what they wanted. I'm busy here. You don't remember how you humiliated me? I'm here for payback. He then snaps his fingers, and from below, his men then throw buggy bombs at him, a bunch of them at him, which are now rigged with sea stone fragments. But as they're about to reach Luffy, he holds his hand out, and the wind around would mold and turn into spheres, and they surround each buggy ball and just stop them. What? Buggy would yell as the bombs would then explode in the wind spheres before Luffy then releases the leftover parts, and annoyed, Luffy says, I'm having a moment here. Did you seriously think you could kill me with sea stone? He knew? Alvida would think, and Luffy then sighs, saying, they wouldn't have worked anyway. I don't know how many times I have to tell this to you idiots, but I didn't eat a devil fruit. Hearing this shocks all the pirates and the people as Buggy then yells that he has to be lying, but Luffy says it's true. It really doesn't matter, if you don't believe me. He then jumps down from the platform and lands down without even using wind to cushion himself, and he stands straight. You're not gonna attack me anyway. You never had a chance to beat me. All the Buggy pirates were now on the bad end, as was Alvida, and even with her devil fruit, she knew there was no way a wind blade wouldn't just carve into her. Luffy then takes one step and makes everyone make way for him, and he starts walking through the crowd. Hey, Ripper, stop! Amongst this chaos, Alvida then sees it's a Marine and tells Buggy to yell for his group to cause even more trouble, and so they do, and they start firing off bullets, and this makes people freak out and just start rampaging around, and as they are, they're allowing the pirates to disappear into the crowds. Meanwhile, from above then flies in Smoker, who would then come in with a strike using a sea stone staff, but Luffy creates a wind blade and blocks it. He blocked it, Smoker would think, as he then retreats and lands in front of Luffy, and amidst this chaos, he would then ask why Luffy was here. I wanted to have some fun sightseeing. Didn't expect all this to happen though. Cut the crap, Smoker would say, as he then points his weapon at Luffy, who says, what? I don't lie about things like that. After all, I'm the man who will be king of the pirates. He yells this, catching the attention of everyone and catching them off guard, and they will be thinking, he's saying that in a place like this? He's crazy. Smoker, however, is focused on one little detail. He's smiling. It's just like... However, mid-sentence, he would then stop when he notices a strange sound, and he touches his ear to feel that he is actually bleeding, and realizes Luffy must have messed with his eardrum somehow, and this is when he actually hears the sound of wind whistling, and he looks up to see he was now surrounded by wind blades. He's fast, Smoker would think. Sorry, I'd love to stay, but I caused too much of a commotion, Luffy would say. He would then leap into the air and fly away as Smoker then tells him to stop, but as he does, he is attacked from every corner by blades and barely turns into smoke in time and gets stabbed in the shoulder, the back, the thigh, and he gets cut on the cheek before the blades then dissipate. Shit, Smoker would say, as Luffy then flies away, hearing the sound of thunder strike down below, and he also sees his crew being chased. As the Tempests run down the street being chased by Takagi and other Marines, they hear the sound of wind just as Takagi and the Marines are blown away. Usopp then looks back. Luffy? Luffy then yells from above, and they all actually look up to see that it was him that stopped the Marines, and they ask him what took him so long, and Luffy apologizes. He then gets his grimoire out and uses his spells to create an arc, grabbing everyone off the ground. You did something, didn't you? Sanji would ask, and the arc then starts moving forward fast, as Luffy then says there was no way he wasn't going to do anything. I just couldn't help myself, you know? As the arc moves forward, Luffy then feels something and looks out to see Shanks, who waves at him. Shanks? He then passes over him as Shanks will then stop waving, and with a smile he thinks, so you finally started, huh? When the stars soon reach their ship, it starts to rain hard, and they land, and as they do, Luffy blasts the sails of wind, making them move very fast, but the seas are also raging, and lightning is striking, and amidst all this storm, as they're being chased still, is when Sanji brings out a barrel and sets it down. Hey, why don't we make her stand right here, Sanji would say. To finding the all blue, he said, as he then stomped his foot atop the barrel. Seriously, right now, Usopp would yell. Luffy then steps up and puts his foot on and says, to becoming the Pirate King. Nami then follows, saying, to draw a map of the world, and Zoro says, to being the best swordsman. Usopp then says, screw it, and runs over, saying, to be a great warrior of the sea. Together, they all then crush the barrel, and they yell, off to the Grand Line we go. A few hours later in the sea, as the Tempest near Reverse Mountain, we can see their ship covered by a wind barrier, stopping all the rain and wind from even hitting them. And Usopp would say, most pirates would be lucky to even have this. Are you sure you're okay, Luffy? And Luffy says, it's a permanent spell. It barely takes any energy, but it'll only last for a few hours. Come on, let's go inside. They all then go inside and to their eating room, I guess you could say, and talk about crossing Reverse Mountain, but soon Usopp looks outside and sees the rain has actually stopped. The group then comes outside with him, and they see that this was true, only for Nami to then freeze up. Nami wouldn't say, Luffy, make sure the barrier doesn't break. Yeah, I know. This is the calm belt. He readies his grimoire, but the others then asking what was wrong, just as they would feel their ship rumble, and they are then lifted into the air, and Sanji would look down, and he sees they're on the nose of a Sea King, and multiple other Sea Kings surrounded the Sea King they were on. Usopp and Zoro then come over and will be wide-eyed to see this, as this was a den for Sea Kings. Don't worry guys, if needed, I can actually kill one of these suckers. Really? Nami would ask, and Luffy then nods, just as the Sea King they were on would actually sneeze, shooting them off its nose just as they're flown off, and And Luffy uses a spell to surround the ship with wind, making them fly, and they gracefully land, just as the Sea Kings would start to plunge back into the sea, rocking their ship even more. Jesus, what the hell? Usopp would yell. I don't even know what's going on anymore. After this, they then sail to Reverse Mountain and climb up the water, flowing upwards, and with Luffy's barrier spell, even though they crash into like sides of the mountain, they feel no damage, and this is all the way up until they reach the top. And when they do, they start going down at an incredible speed, and as they go down is when Usopp uses his binoculars to see a big black mountain. Guys, can anyone tell me what that is? Zoro would then say, holy shit, it's another Sea King. That's a goddamn whale. Luffy would then say, calm down, we'll just do this. Luffy then makes a fist and causes the wind to kind of shift their ship, and before they hit the whale, they just don't even hit it, just go around it, and they don't bother it at all. Everyone then sighs in relief, with Luffy then looking up and flying into the air. I'll be back, give me a few minutes. He then flies up with everyone telling him to come back here because they will be killed while he's up there, but he says it's fine. As Luffy reaches above the whale, its giant eyes see him. Hey there, buddy. The whale would then start to yell, causing the seas to rage, and Luffy would say, calm down, I'm gonna help you. He then sticks his hand out and uses his grimoire, just as the whale would be enveloped by a green light, which starts to heal its scars and its internal problems. From down below, the group then realizes what he's trying to do, and Sanji would say, how the hell did he end up being a pirate? What's that supposed to mean? Usopp would say, and Zoro says he's soft. Good thing is he can still make good decisions, but I don't think it's normal for a pirate to just stop and heal a wounded animal. As he says this, the whale would then actually start to crash towards them, and they get on guard. Luckily, the barrier is still up, but just as the whale would slam into the water, it opens its mouth and swallows up the Tempest, well, their entire ship as well, before then diving back into the sea. Are you kidding me? They would all yell, and this is when Luffy appears flying alongside them. Sorry guys, I got careless. Sanji would then say, we should be fine. Can this barrier handle gastric liquid? Luffy then pops into the barrier and lands, saying it can't handle that, but I really don't want to have to kill this thing from the inside out. They then head further and further into the giant whale and soon come to a stop, and what they see is bizarre. There is a whole world inside this thing. There was a sky, seawater, and a freaking island. They think this has to be a dream, as this is too insane even for Grand Line standards, but they are then interrupted by a squid attacking them. But as it goes for them, it bounces out the wind barrier right before them being harpooned by something from the back. As the squid crashes into the water floating on it, the ropes of the harpoon then lead to an old man walking out from the house on the little island they saw. Crocus then says, I never thought I'd meet the Tempest here. Crocus will then have an intimidating stare as Sanji and everyone get on guard, and Crocus then pulls the squid over before then letting it go. What can I do for you? Luffy then stops up telling everyone to calm down, and he releases the barrier so he can speak clearly. What exactly is going on here? Are we still inside a whale? Crocus would then slowly walk up to his chair and sit down before saying, yes, you're still in Lebu. I painted over his stomach with, well, paint, and there's an exit over there if you want to leave. There's a freaking exit inside a whale, Usopp would yell, and as he yells this, everyone starts to feel a shake, and then this turns into the supposed seas rocking, and the old man, to their shock, would then say that Lebu is hurting himself. This little bugger's been slamming his head against the Grand Line Mountain for years. Why would he? Nami would say. That means he's suffering. Are you trying to kill this thing from the inside? Is that why it's doing that to itself? They're all shocked to hear this, and it's the only logical reason they can find, and Crocus says that's quite a bad thing to say, but of course they don't trust him. But Lebu still keeps banging his head on the Grand Line more and more, so Crocus takes a mini ship and nears the exit and goes up on a ladder to a little door near it. Luffy, let's just go, Zoro would say, and Luffy then nods, and he then hits the sails with more wind and they start moving, when out of nowhere, two people come from the walls of the stomach through a little door, and they are being flung into the stomach acid. Using his wind, Luffy then catches them with arcs and then lets them land on their ship. Man, how many of these weirdos are in these things? Zoro would say, and Miss Wednesday then says, weirdos? How dare you, Miss Wednesday would say, and Mr. Nine then says they were lucky to land on the ship, and Usopp goes to tell them that Luffy actually saved them, but then he notices that everything has stopped shaking. Unknown to them, Crocus went and gave Lebu a sedative and calmed him down, and as he's walking out, Crocus then thinks he may not be able to help this animal for any time longer. He then walks out and starts going down the ladder when he sees the Tempest crew nearing the exit, and on their ship he sees his enemies pulling their guns out. You bastards, stop! Crocus would yell as Luffy would then ask, what are you guys doing? Mr. Nine then says they're doing business, just as he and Miss Wednesday then shoot out a cannon through their cannonball through their guns towards Lubu. Their technology is honestly really dope. And angered Luffy is about to slice the cannonballs, but before he can, Crocus jumps on, like in the way, and takes the brunt of the balls, which then explode, leaving him falling. The old man, he protected it, Nami would say. Miss Wednesday would then say, what a troublesome old man. However, she and Mr. Nine then stop as they see Crocus being held up by a wind arc, and Luffy then asks what exactly they thought they were doing. As they two turn, they then get a closer look at Luffy, and they would start to sweat nervously. You wouldn't happen to be the Ripper, would you? Mr. Nine would ask, and Luffy answers by punching both of them in the head so hard that they slam into each other's heads, causing them to start bleeding as they then fall back and knocked out. Yeah, that's me. Crocus is then about to be brought on the ship, and when he is brought on the ship, he then looks up to see the stars surrounding him, and he says only one thing: protect Lubu. Luffy will then kneel down as he is then enveloped by a green shine, and they all see his wounds regenerate, with the old man then sitting up completely fine. Thanks. So, you know about me? Luffy would ask. Then why didn't you freak out? Crocus then laughs, saying he might be strong for sure, but I've met many great men. You're not there yet. Luffy then laughs at this, saying hopefully he'll reach that level soon, and after this he helps them get out of Lubu, and outside they dock the ship near the mountain and take a little break. As they get off and sit near the lighthouse that is on the mountain is when Crocus explains why Lubu is doing what he is doing to himself. His friends left the Grand Line are probably dead, but Lubu refuses to believe that and is waiting for them, and he's just kind of pouring his pain into, well, smacking his head on the giant Grand Line. They care for him, Crocus would say, so I don't think it's their choice whether or not they came back. You mean they died on the Grand Line? Sanji would ask while taking a puff from his cigarette. Crocus then says probably, as they would then slightly feel the mountain slightly shake from Lubu bashing his head into it, and as the wheel comes back up, Crocus notices something. Did you heal Lubu? He then looks at Luffy, who says he tried, but he freaked out, and I guess he wanted the scars back. Crocus then thinks, then that's why I felt it. I saw a change in the body. It was like he was regenerated. It was him. Lubu then, after coming up with new scars, he starts to yell at the mountain and like up the mountain, and he keeps doing it until Luffy loses his goddamn mind. Enough! As he yells this, for the first time, Luffy fully releases lightning from his Conqueror's Haki, and the lightning will hit and rip up the ground as well as the sea, as he then pushes back everyone and freezes them up in fear, including Lubu. Luffy, is he okay? Zoro would yell, and Crocus would then whisper, Conqueror. What did you say? Usopp would ask, and Crocus then says he's using Haki. It's a power that comes from spirit. He must have unlocked it from pure emotion, but it's too strong. What? That's a thing? Sanji would say. Well, he did kind of show it when he got mad against Don Krieg. I always get this feeling. It terrifies me. Luffy then disappears and appears all the way above Lubu as he starts falling down, and as he is, he holds his hand back and forms a giant wind hand, which terrifies Lubu, and he will be smacked by him, getting slammed into the sea 50 feet back, bro. 50 feet. Just stop it, okay, Luffy would yell. I didn't heal you just so you could do this bullshit. The lightning then finally dies down and allows everyone to move, as when they're allowed to, Lubu is also able to move, and he would then look back up at Luffy, using his wind to enhance his voice, and he yells, I'll be your new friend. We'll be your new friends. Matter of fact, I'll heal you as many times as you need, and I'll fight you as many times as you need. Just stop doing this to yourself. These words actually reach Lubu, who would start to kind of cry, and Luffy apologizes for hitting him. But seriously, stop hurting yourself. I mean it. See how strong I am? Ain't no way I'm dying out here. So I'll come back, and we can have a rematch. Got it? That's insane, Crocus would say. How far do these powers go? You could kill a Sea King. Well, he says he can, Zoro would say, and Crocus doesn't deny that it's a possibility, but more so, he would smile when he sees Lubu is yelling with happiness and not anger or sorrow. And then they would all smile as Luffy then holds up both his hands, enveloping Lubu in energy, and he starts to heal. What was that, Luffy would think? There was something about that lightning. What? Was it you? He then looks to the grimoire, which then flips a page and it shows him he has a new spell. A spell that allowed him to use the most potent power from nature and his very own will. Haki. That's what I use, Luffy would think. A while later, after this little problem is taken care of, Crocus starts to explain what Luffy used. In the Grand Line, some people don't need things like devil fruits. They have Haki. This power can even cancel out devil fruits. You have potential, boy. Luffy then looks down at his grimoire, seeing the new spell, which was now named Haki, and he said that he needed to master this. Sorry for causing the trouble, by the way. I kind of shift when I'm mad. Nami would then say, "Are you kidding me? You need to be like that more often. We never expected that out of you. You didn't even talk like yourself." They all then agree as they say that assertive side is much more effective, and Luffy thanks them for not freaking out. "Oh, I'm freaking out," Usopp would say, "but honestly, joining you was something I knew was never going to be normal. I guess you got a new spell or something?" Luffy then nods, then turns his grimoire to everyone, and they see the spell drawn out, but they cannot read it. But it looks powerful, describing giant bursts of lightning, and it just looks really, like, scary. It looks very detailed. However, Crocus sees something that shocks him, but he keeps it to himself. This kid, he's gonna shake the world, Crocus would think. What did Crocus see? What will happen at the Grand Line? Find out in the upcoming parts. It's been me, Prince of What Ifs, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below any criticisms you have of the video. What did you like about it? What did you hate about it? Feel free to be honest. It's the only way I can actually get criticism since, well, the dislike button is gone. Fuck you, YouTube. But also, please don't stop paying me, obviously. Wow, I am not helping my case. Point is, make sure to comment. Tell me what you thought. Tell me how your day was. I love that when we talk about and we exchange, are we okay? Because some of y'all apparently got COVID. I'm sorry that happened to y'all. I just want to know what's going on, because I don't want to feel as if I'm only focusing on the videos and not the fan base and the people I've just surrounded myself with on this channel. So feel free to just talk to me. We can also just talk on the Discord, but I'm probably not gonna go in groups. I don't mind if we just like talk we just talk on text. We obviously can't do face to face. It's always loud where I am, but feel free to hit me up. I don't mind talking. It's okay. It's not like I'm making like a little special channel thing. I just want to get to know y'all more. So if you want to, go down in the Discord below and you will have a chance to talk to me. You will see my Discord there, obviously, and we can just chat it out. This is not a plug, I swear. I'm legitimately worried. Alright, I'm the one that started with COVID, and I'm the one that has to worry about it now, because I'm worried about everyone getting it, because I think that I'm the one that passed it to everyone. Fuck. I don't like this. Point is, I hope you have a great day. That did not make any sense, but I do hope you have a great day. What am I doing? Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace.